Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you my worm deck profile for January 2012. We'll go ahead and go through the deck profile. This deck's been pretty good for me, actually. I tested out these last couple days on Dual Network. I've had some losses and I've had some wins as well, you know. So that's pretty much it for it. We'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, I don't know if it's just been lucky draws or or just consistency with the deck on how I've been getting my wins. But, you know, it's been losing to a few things as well. I don't want to be a downer or anything, but I've had fun with the deck, you know, at least. It's put up a good fight. So we're going to start off with 3 Worms X, 1800 attack, 1000 defense. The fact is, when he's normal summoned, you can send 1 reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you control a face-up Worm Jagen, can't be destroyed by battle. And usually when you summon that card, the card you're going to be sending to the graveyard is Worm Jagen. With its ability, if the only monster you control is Worms X, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, and it has to be special summoned face down, but when you flip it face up, you can return 1 monster your opponent controls to the hand. And the good thing is with Zex, it's 2 level 4s, so you can start Xyz summoning for rank 4 monsters, which I think is a pretty good add-on now for these monsters with the introduction of Xyz monsters. You're going to run 3 Worm Carteros. It's a searcher. When it's flipped up, you can add 1 level 4 or lower reptile from your deck to your hand, and it's also level 4. You're also going to run 1 Worm Lynx, just 1 at the moment. During each of your end phases, this card's face up on the field, you draw a card. Of course, it has to be face down first, and then you flip it up, but that's an extra draw at the end of each turn, so that's why I use that, in my opinion. You're going to run 2 Worm Kings. It could be tribute summon in face-up attack position by just using 1 reptile worm monster. You can tribute 1 reptile worm monster to select 1 card on the field and destroy it. He's mainly your powerhouse monster, 2700 attack, and with only 1 tribute, it's not that bad. To get your synchro summons out, we're going to run 2 Gen X Ally Birdman. You know his ability, return 1 monster on the field to your hand, special summon, and then summon that monster. You got level 7 right there. You're going to run 1 Honest. All the monsters in the deck, mostly all of them are light, so he works well with them. You're going to run 1 Marshmallow for protection. You're going to run 2 Evil Dragon Anantas. Well, with this card, when he's normal, they cannot be normal summoned or set. Can only be special summoned by removing from play all reptile monsters from your side of the field and graveyard. And his attack and defense are equal to the monsters you remove by 600. And at the end of each turn, you destroy 1 card on the field. So you want to run 2. It's another good addition to your deck when you're in a tight spot. Okay, now that's it for the monsters. Now we'll move on to traps. You're going to run 3 W Nebula Meteorite. A really good card, in my opinion. You change all face-down monsters on the field to face-up defense position, and during the end phase of this turn, change all face-up light reptile monsters you control to face-down defense position, and then draw 1 card for each. And after that, you could special summon 1 level 7 or higher light reptile monster from your deck. So this card's basically made just for this deck. You flip your Worm Jagen and your Zex into face down defense position, then flip them. No, you flip them face up. Whoops, my bad. Then during the end phase, you flip them all face down. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, confused there for a second. And then you special summon 1 level 7 or higher, which is Worm King. And you also get that good draw power right there. So you got to run 3 of those. It's really good in my opinion. You're going to run 2 Offering of the Snake Deity. Most of the cards, like I said, are reptiles. Destroy 1, destroy 2 cards your opponent controls. This is a little addition of mine. You're going to run 1 Alien Brain. You activate when a reptile monster you control is destroyed by battle by an opponent's attacking monster and sent to the graveyard. You take control of the attacking monster and treat it as a reptile monster. So it's good. Basically, you gain control of that monster. It's yours. This is a permanent effect. So it's not like until the end phase of the turn. That monster's with you until it's destroyed. So if it's like a low-level monster, you can use it with, say, Inanta. Or if it's a high-level monster, you still have its effect. The only thing that's changed is it's a reptile. So that's why I had it at 2, but you know, 2, your opponent doesn't really attack that much. It's good at 1 at the moment. You can also run 2 compulsory evacuation device, 2 bottomless. This deck is really trap heavy because you got to protect the few worms you have. 2 solemn warning, 1 solemn judgment, 1 7 tools of the bandit. Like I said, really trap heavy, and 1 starlight road. Mainly because I run this, is you always have a lot of set traps on the field and monsters, and to keep your opponent from using cards like Heavy Storm or Dark Hole, use Starlight Road to negate the effect and also get a Stardust Dragon from it as well, and 1 Mirror Force. Now we're going to move on to spells. You're run Book of Moon, and you're also going to run Book of Moon's distant cousin, in my opinion, Book of Tayo. This is a really good card, in my opinion. Basically, its effect is you flip 1 face-down monster on the field in a face-up attack position. So with that, pretty much, if you on first turn set Yagen and you have from Zek's ability, you can't flip it face up normally, but if you play Book of Tayu, you can flip Yagen first on the first turn, use its effect, and then you can also exceed summon if it's your first turn. So usually with that, it makes me kind of risk going second with this deck just to see what I draw, but I only have 1 at the moment. I might suggest running 2 of these. It's really good with this deck, like I said, with those abilities. You're run 2 Pa Duality. I was at 3, but with this deck you really do special summon a lot, so that's why I only have 2, because you still need search. You're also going to run 1 Future Fusion. Mainly the Future Fusion is only to get out Worm 0, but with Worm 0, you're not really going to be summoning him for that effect as much with this deck. Mainly you're going to use Future Fusion so you can get your reptiles in the graveyard, so you can have bait for an Anta. Like, let's say you draw an Anta and this on the first turn, you have nothing in your graveyard. Use the Future Fusion to get a couple of your reptiles into the graveyard, and then special summon by removing them from play for an Anta. And if possible, if it survives, like say you also have Starlight Road, you'll have a Worm 0 on the way for a little more backup. And you're going to run 1 Enemy Controller, a Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, and 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. So that's it for spells. And for the extra deck, you run for the Starlight Road, the Stardust Dragon. With the Birdmen, you also want to run 1 Gen X Ally Triforce and 1 Gen X Ally Triarm. Of course, the only way you'll get Triarm out is if you Synchro Summon with the Marshmallow and the Birdman. And you also want to run a few other level 7 Synchro monsters as well, like Black Rose or anything like that. Have them lying around here somewhere. And as for Xyz at the moment, Utopia, Wind Up Zenmeister, and Steel Swarm Roach are in this deck. So it's really good in my opinion. I'll be trying that out a few times at local, see how it does there. If you want to try it out, it's a really fun deck in my opinion. You know, it's a little different road than what most people are doing at the moment, but I enjoy it, and I hope you guys like it. Please like and subscribe. Hope you guys liked it, and Kier Twig out.